Game 4 here in Buffalo tonight, including Robbie Avila, the senior transferred from Indiana State, and then for the Georgia.
About a team that's battle tested because of the team.
We had a shot clock issue, by the way, is why there was the pause. And here we go, off to the races, Dion Brown for 2.
Game, and the Bilicans able to do that in that first defensive possession.
They only created 8 turnovers in that loss. That heart seconds or so here. Quentin Jones and Robbie Avila play that 2-man game. That 3 fades right for. And again, do not worry about the shot clock operator in this game. It's not a job that's going to matter.
Hungry to taste that first victory back in the big dance.
Kareem Stagg, the freshman, clangs a 3, and the rebound.
Maybe shorter stature, but he has a beautiful stroke.
Brown misses a 3. He's a 40% shooter. He wants to ride it back in. Transfer by way of UTSA. Stagg, the freshman, giving it up to a baseline drive. No good for Mitches in his first NCAA tournament game in Division I. Blue Kane down the lane.
Finally.
That, by the way, was Kane able to 3 minutes into the game from Jim Jackson.
Well,
beautiful. Avila down low. Rims it. Rio goes diving on the floor. Brilliant play by Surreal. Cannon catchings, galloping down the lane, drawing contact. Avila met by Catchings. He'll turn it wide. That's a Jones 3 that just.
But that was after the initial contact.
So Dion Brown picks up his second goals, his playing time the rest of the half. But Wilkinson, 78% foul shooter. A pretty good free throw shooting team. 75% as a group, 66th in the country.
In the game too, and he got positive possessions once he got in.
The country to find, and that is Dion.
Flawless execution here by the Bilicans early.
Avila, the defense, Ross the 2. It's no good for Wilkinson, who ended up on the hardwood again. It's another steal. Catchings play it to the wing, and that's another 3. From Wofford by way of USC Upstate to South Carolina schools. 1 for 3. A tournament in the first round last year. Avila leading the break, and somehow that nearly went in Billiken games this year.
Well, it could come back to haunt you in the wrong way by putting your opponent. The mascot is here.
Yeah.
That maybe you searched it out and needed some luck and wanted to rub the belly.
Well, the Billiken has been around town. Here's a layup.
School teammate, a good contested shot right there.
On the Dunlap miss, Avila. Cross lane, fine for Thane. No.
I forced you to take some of the cinnamon one.
They brought you sympathy pretzels in between games. Layup no good. Wilkinson, long-range bomb. Paul Otieno, the transfer from Quinnipiac, is in. He'll screen for Sharma, who triggers and misses a 3. St. Louis hounded by Surreal, who's played very well on the perimeter so far. Thames the spin and dish. And that 3 will not count. Wilkinson, and the battle on the rebound ends up on the ground. And Sharma and St. Louis get a scoop for.
To open up a hole. Fouls him a bit and then finishes.
St. Louis in the paint, including that layup for Thames, whose dad actually got hurt at Mizzou, as there's a 3 that goes down. Ended up not playing the year that Tyus Edney went coast to coast against the Tigers, and some Mizzou fans still here at St. Louis, leading by 7.
Well, I kind of like how the Bilicans have started because they've been on the attack. You see what it's getting them is opportunities inside. So they're
2 fouls at 10:05 in the first half, Jimmy. Cannon Catchings missed the 3.
Yep, he got basketball that runs in his family.
You were talking LeBron.
Well, yeah, because
no.
It looks like
the day.
Ohio thing, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. I understand. Toledo's finest.
Okay.
Step back. Jones, no sir.
Too. So he said she does a good job after the game of being a mix of mom and coach, but he definitely hears about the defense.
You were every day?
Every single day.
Awesome.
Wouldn't you, though, if you had a basketball savant like that in your family and you were playing on this stage?
High school, he tried contacts. And his brother said to him,
"Nah, bro.
What are you doing?" You're
to see at the next level if a team is willing to take a shot, and it's a one that plays for the Rockets that came out and no one really thought of. They thought of Brown right now, who's been getting to the back.
Brown into double figures. St. Louis by 11.
Well, you think about this. You remember Deion Brown picked up that second foul. You thought maybe Lewis team would punch on. Oh, no,
Robbie. Turnover to Millender. Up ahead, off the feet, it's Jake Wilk. Other way, Jones, no dice. Rebound juggled and chopped right back to Brown. To Sharma. This is the octane we expected. Blue Kane, no for three. Josh Schertz, who reportedly just signed a long-term extension with St. Louis. That's a step back three for Green. And Trey Green for three. 13 of 24 for the Bilicans. Wilkinson, no answer.
Controlling tempo, pace. From the beginning of the game, St. Louis came out with a mission in mind to do this. Defense, when he plays well, he's a needle mover. He has that kind of talent, can take over a game.
Average 2-point field goals in the country. St. Louis averages the shortest 2-point field goal distance in the nation, and we're seeing it. And Trey Green wants to sway into a three. Instead, he'll play through Avila. Off the spin. Oh, no! That three for Catchings won't go. Lead of 17 for St. Louis, one of the best offenses in the country. And they'll ship it right there.
Strategically dissecting the Georgia defense. We're not going to force up a lot of shots unless we have them like this.
Avila the miss.
But we're going to
It's blocked by Absent on the outside. Extra pass, that's Catchings in the corner, and it barely drew off the find from McCautry. Still a lot of time for St. Louis on the possession. Here comes Robbie down the lane.
He's kind of regather focus, run that middle pick and roll. Avila right there. It's hard to guard the ball when it's moving, in particular when you have guys.
This is what Josh Schertz has cultivated in his time as a head coach. Again, 13 years.
And Georgia right here, we kind of make a run here the last 3:25.
Wilkinson couldn't get it to go. It's Paul.
And kind of overwhelm you offensively.
Well, they're at about 7% right now. Dunlap cashes. Phenomenal tear last year in the NCAA tournament into the score column. Wilkinson the air. He lumbers into the lane. Dunlap. Skip it far side. No good for Joe. Up in the high school national tournament twice in his prep days. Knocks down the free throw. Second one good for Ross Alley.
The full shoot around this morning. It hasn't seemed to affect his minutes necessarily, but you never know how it's affecting him physically, especially from
the game wears on as the night wears on too. This is a late start time as Thames got two there. Wilkinson step back as a here's McCautry. Skip it. Otieno doesn't want to take the shot. Dunlap drops it back to him. Otieno.
They read and react off of their teammates. When to cut, when to pull back, when to pass it.
Wilkinson rifles it and misses. Goal offense. Dunlap wants it. He shimmies down the lane and scores. He was clapped. It's a lot of things to do in 20 minutes.
That's all right. You got to do it if you want to get back and win this game.
Wilkinson ends up on the ground again. St. Louis just 3 for 15 from three in that first half and up 17. Right down the back door. Dion's
a game. You shoot it at 40%, but they don't rely on it. And that's the beauty in what you see about that offensive versus putting the ball on the deck and attacking the paint.
Avila, great find downstairs. What a spec.
You overplay the next play. I'm backdoor cutting and getting the layup.
Oh my goodness. Brown just took it right from George. Jones. No. Nobody home for Georgia. Avila stonewalls Wilkinson.
Avila that time arm straight in the air. And Jones. Oh
yes, he did. Quentin Jones.
Look at this defense right now. It's by the Bilicans. This
Intercepted by Green. Will it be a pick six? The answer is yes. Teams in the mid-90s. But this is a really proud program.
I told you, my former teammate in high school, Donnie Dobbs, during
Jones.
cut.
What a cut. It's McCautry. And St. Louis right now. That lob is going to get rejected by the rim. McCautry's free. McCautry one-on-one past Millender. 52 points in the paint. Another pickoff. McCautry down the lane. Show and go. Nope, but yes.
And when it's rolling, man, it's rolling.
It's 18-11 in the second half. Finally, Georgia is on the
fire. Now they're showing a little bit here now, but to begin that second half, this second half, the change in demeanor seemed the same, but
leading some in college basketball circles. I'm sure to wonder about what that matchup would look like. Avila got decked. He ends up on the ground.
Yeah, but this is a matchup with Georgia that plays very similar style that St. Louis played. You know, we had, you know, a missed shot, couple turnovers. Gave it to Georgia to score.
With his goggles. But sometimes when he and his brothers were wrestling back in the day, he forgot to take by. Instead, Thames will keep it. Into the corner. That's good for Jones.
Nice.
Ball moves so fast. Dunlap. Opposite corner. Millender sinks a three. Marcus in half. There's some prideful Bulldogs in that locker room. Thames down the lane, spun it out.
Just have like a timer in their mind, or a score, or a spread. When they do that, long two.
Millender missed it. Winner of that game gets Texas Longhorns despite 35 from. Has flown a little bit under the radar in the regular season. I know they've had a great year and they've been in the three offensively. They are 60% from the floor 29 minutes into this game. Jones stabs. Stag through traffic. Got it outside Wilkinson. That's his first bucket. A 28-point lead for SLU.
Yeah, the shot's going in for Georgia, but can't make a dent because they're not doing this. They're not getting any stops.
He spent 1 year at Cal Poly. They were 4-28. He spent 1 year at Northern Illinois. They were 6.
But he's grown and matured over the year, too, so you can't discount that in March Madness.
They certainly have hit the reset button. They were 4-4 their last 8, opening 24-1 as that 2 goes down.
Set their mind and feel good about themselves offensively. Look, they're getting anything and everything.
With 9.5 to go.
Wow. Never would have thought this coming into this game. St. Louis.
Sharma, other corner.
Give me that.
Yeah, he did. Just took it away. McCautry got it up top. That's good. Into the backcourt. Robbie's on the run, and it's picked up at the end line by Louisville, and a dunk for Dylan James. This is a machine. St. Louis has been all night long. Stringing ahead, Dunlap. That's him in the corner. You see this. And yes, over the course of history, 9 seeds have had a positive result generally in these games, but Florida Atlantic alumnus in 2000, then made his way to Lincoln Memorial in Harrogate, Tennessee. 13 seasons there. Wilkinson, the reported numbers, it's a 6-year extension for Josh Schertz for St. Louis. There's a reason they want him there. He has been a dynamo. Then misses that one. Rebound for James. Play it along for catching. He's looking for his first points, and that won't fall.
Wow, look at the cut.
There's a cut for Sharma.
And it's perpetual motion, but it's not motion.
This venue in the NCAA tournament in its rich history of hosting tournament games. Sharma got it for 2 more.
You know, just...
Oh, it's a coin flip.
It's a coin flip, you know, dealer's choice.
But that's the thing about coin flips, like we call them, see on the Ferris wheel. It was a common foul, no upgrade. That's way too easy. Right on the welcome number 2.
Yeah, I like the call by the officials. Nothing intentional there. Incidental out the bucket.
That three is no good for Green. Sharma going right.
Think about how many times we may have said, "What? Oh, they're taking a tough shot. That was a tough shot. That was a tough contest." Before it happens, you know where the openings are going to be. That's when it's in its best form.
You were talking to Tom. He played Eastern Michigan in the first round. Their second opponent. You talk about putting stress as a 4 seed for Michigan State that year. There's a three for.
Only a few players that play in that system have.
Thames too strong. St. Louis is going to win its first NCAA tournament game in 12 years. You know what, Jared? Somehow didn't win the Carnival game.
It was a small rim.
There we are.
Small rim.
Anybody have any milk bottles and rings? 2 and a foul. Free throw for James. For you,
My
dude.
man is on TV. But you see how you
feel like you really want to telestrate this, and we're not going to let you do that. And the rebound for Dylan James. Look, Georgia has scored 108 times themselves. They expected to be on the other side of this tonight. Wilkins.
Man, you follow those directions, get them in the game.
It's a drive and score for Trey Green. In the game since 2015. That won't fall. Rebound snared by Wilkins. He'll rise for 3 and hit the top of the
Gaps become more available, whether it's via the pass or it's the drive, and value the basketball.
We're going to find out coming up on Saturday. St. Louis will get one more shot for Hudson. Rebound tapped out to
A lot of records in scoring, but all that kind of goes out the window when you lose a game like this.
Louis Bilicans announced their presence in the NCAA tournament in a big way in 2020. Tournament victory. St. Louis wins 102-77 in our finale in Buffalo. They'll